What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to Modern Warfare 3, I've been honestly trying to think of things that might be busted at launch. Things that will have to be down to the fundamentals of the game, the core foundation, things that just have to be completely overhauled. But honestly, for the first time in a long time, this game just doesn't have as many problems as I expected, Usually every single beta, Modern Warfare 2019 up to Modern Warfare 2 2022, there are massive problems and things that the community are voicing their opinions about day one. And these are things minus, skill-based matchmaking and the pricing of microtransactions, so on and so forth. Those things are extraordinarily obvious, but I'm talking about the foundation of these games. This is the first time in a long time where I played a full beta and I just could not think of a singular thing that really had to be revamped. I mean, my biggest concern was maybe the time to kill, but again, that was all because of the servers, so 9 times out of 10, that's going to be fixed on launch, of course, if we do get better servers. But when it comes down to the foundation of what Modern Warfare 3 is, Sledgehammer Games literally had a checklist, and they checked it about 10 different times to make sure everything was done, to make sure the community would not have anything to complain about, because realistically, everything that we wanted is now officially resolved. But there is indeed one thing that I think will be a massive problem at the launch of Modern Warfare 3. Of course, this is all personal preference, and I would love for you guys to leave your opinions down in the comment section on what you guys think, if this is good, if this is bad, if it's going to be a problem or not a problem. But again, there's not many things that I think will be busted at launch, but this right here I think will more than likely be a problem that will have to be adjusted over time. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed what you hear today, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time, and you best believe there's going to be tons and tons of Modern Warfare 3 content on this channel once it goes ahead and drops. We're going to cover everything, tips and tricks videos, comparisons, just commentaries, rants, whatever you guys like, you best believe it's on this channel. And last but not least, don't forget you could catch my live stream over on Kick. We are playing the World at War campaign before Modern Warfare 3 drops, so for the next 2 to 3 days or so, we're going to be grinding that World at War campaign, which is, in my personal opinion, one of the best campaigns ever made. So if you guys want to tune in, get some good vibes, spooky vibes, to be honest, because World at War probably has one of the most gruesome campaigns known to mankind. Don't forget you can find the link to that channel down in the description of this video, and that stream usually goes live around 1 p.m. Eastern time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so you might be asking, JB, what could possibly be wrong with the launch of this game? They fixed pretty much everything that we asked for. We have red dots on the minimaps, we have dead silence as a perk, we have increased time to kill to make for more engaging, gunfights. We have OG maps, so we don't have to worry about them making any new maps that the community doesn't enjoy. There's really, nothing that we could possibly complain about when it comes to fundamentals, but let me tell you something. I really do believe that there is, and that is going to be the weapon balancing. For those who don't know, which I'm assuming that you guys already all know this because it's one of the biggest selling points of Modern Warfare 3, we are going to be having an absolute absurd amount of weapon variety when it comes to this game. Not only are we going to be having, brand new weapons stuffed into Modern Warfare 3, but we're also going to be having all of the Modern Warfare 2 weapons added on top of that. So SMGs, ARs, shotties, sniper rifles, marksmans, battle rifles, whatever you could possibly imagine, it's going to be stuffed into Modern Warfare 3. Now, indeed, this is a good thing because we want variety. When it comes to Call of Duty, especially current date, the community has evolved. The one thing that we really do crave nowadays is variety in gameplay. And how do you get variety in gameplay? With plenty of different map selections, plenty of different weapons to, choose from, attachments, perk selection, stuff of that sort. So having a lot of weapons, honestly, isn't that big of a deal when it comes to, being a negative. It's more of a positive. But here's the problem. Every single time that we have an abundance of weapons in a Call of Duty title, it always turns out to be a disaster. Balancing is not something that Call of Duty developers typically do too well. Even, Treyarch, for example, has pretty rough weapon balancing nowadays, and it takes, almost a full year for them to even, add something that's going to shake up the meta. And I know this example is a little out there for, reasons that I will explain, but Black Ops Cold War, for another example, you remember when they integrated all the weapons from that game into Warzone 1 and it busted the whole title? Now, trust me, I understand they're two completely different engines, and that's why it ran into that issue, Having Modern Warfare 2 2022 and Modern Warfare 3 2023 basically running on the same exact thing, it should be much easier to integrate weapons over, but still, it's not going to change the fact that balancing isn't their strong point, and they're going to be integrating all of these weapons from Modern Warfare 2 over to Modern Warfare 3, and they're going to have to try to balance them out across the board in a game that now has 150 time to kill instead of, 100, which is what it was in Modern Warfare 2 2022. And on top of that, think back to Warzone 1 again. How often do you see people using a lot of variety? Be honest. Seriously, be honest. Because 9 times out of 10 in my lobbies, you see people use the same thing every single game. Even though there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of weapons in Warzone, people always tend to use the same stuff. Which goes right back to my main concern with Modern Warfare 3 2023. We are having a quote-unquote new game, even though, in my opinion, my eyes, it's still pretty much DLC. But, it's supposed to be new content here. And I have a really bad gut feeling that with all of the Modern Warfare 2 weapons being reintroduced back into the mix, that meta is going to transfer right over. It's 2 ways it's going to go out. Either the meta is going to be non-existent because the Modern Warfare 2 weapons suck, and we're going to have no variety because the Modern Warfare 2 weapons suck, which means that we're going to have to wait, months on top of months for them to actually polish them off and make them work in that game. Or the second alternative is that the Modern Warfare 2 weapons work fantastic, and then they become meta. They transfer right over, and since a lot of people already own Modern Warfare 2 2022, already own a lot of the attachments for these meta weapons, they're just going to literally use all those guns the second they unlock Creator Class. Like I said, there's so many different ways of this going, bad compared to good. And that's why I think this right here, the weapon balancing, is going to be one of those core gameplay fundamentals that'll be one of the biggest challenges for Sledgehammer to push through. That's just how the Call of Duty community works. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, the ACR and the UMP in Modern Warfare 3 were fantastic, and they were. They were great guns. But I'm telling you just how the mind of a sweat lord works. A sweat is going to literally take every advantage they can get to stomp out every single lobby they can find. It just is what it is. And if that sweat can get their hands on a Vaznev or attack that is overpowered in Modern Warfare 3 at level 20 and have all the attachments that they had when they played Modern Warfare 2 2022, they're not going to worry about Modern Warfare 3 weapons. They will literally use the guns that they already have pre-made and forget about all the new weapons that are, at our offering. I think one way of working around this, and it might not be a very popular answer, and again, I highly encourage you guys to go down in the comment section and leave your opinions about this overall topic. If you think it's going to be a problem, if you don't think this is going to be a problem, and if you do think weapon balancing is going to be a problem, what would you guys do to resolve it? But the way I would suggest, my constructive criticism, would to be don't launch the Modern Warfare 2 weapons at the beginning of the game. 2 ways you could work around this. 1, you could slowly drip feed the Modern Warfare 2 weapons into the title. And I know people hate the words drip feed, but trust me, in order to manage the sweat in this game, that is a fantastic thing to do. Slowly implement them and make sure they're balanced. Make sure the weapons work and that they're fundamentally good and work them into the game. Or 2, don't launch the game with Modern Warfare 2 weapons and wait until you hit first prestige max rank. Now, of course, with the horrible seasonal system that we have within these current-day Call of Duty games, there's no such thing as a prestige system, but you get the idea. Basically, hit level 55 or whatever it is, and then you can have access to all of the Modern Warfare 2 weapons. And what this would do is it would allow people to try new stuff. Be different instead of being a meta-sweating... God... I try not to talk smack, but man, it's just so annoying because I know that's how it's going to go down. Everybody's going to try to, find exactly what's going to be the best guns in the game, and that's all they're going to use. And it's very worrisome because what happens to the people who didn't play Modern Warfare 2 2022? Or maybe they did play Modern Warfare 2 2022 or just didn't put as much time into it because they didn't like the game. What happens to those individuals? They're going to get wrecked. They have no attachments, they have none of the meta classes from Modern Warfare 2, and all the people who did play Modern Warfare 2 and have their classes set up are going to have a massive advantage over everybody else. Someone who never touched Modern Warfare 2 a day in their life is going to have to go ahead and grind out the Modern Warfare 3 weapons, while at the same time, the players who played Modern Warfare 2 2022, once they hit level 20, they have completely decked out guns. They have everything that they could possibly want. I just don't think that's too fair. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below. How do you guys feel about the weapon balancing? Do you think it's going to be good or do you think it's going to be bad in Modern Warfare 3? It could be not a problem whatsoever. The game isn't out, so we don't even know what it's going to be like. And of course, we used a bunch of the Modern Warfare 2 weapons in the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, but I mean, come on now. Are we really going to judge Modern Warfare 2 weapons in the campaign? It's a completely different vibe. We got to wait until the multiplayer experience drops for that. So, of course, we are speculating a ton here. But from just, from their track record and from previous experiences throughout all the years of Call of Duty, yeah. they're not the best at weapon balancing. So to see them try to transfer over like what 90 plus guns into Modern Warfare 3, which has a 150 time to kill, I don't want to, I don't want to sound completely negative here, but I am a tad bit worried that it's going to be a problem. And like I said earlier, I feel worried for all the players who are going to be coming into Modern Warfare 3 fresh, who never played Modern Warfare 2. People who don't have any attachments for those guns. It's going to suck. They're going to be trying to grind up all their Modern Warfare 3 weapons while people are literally getting their completely decked out Modern Warfare 2 meta classes at level 20, and they don't even have to worry about ranking up any of the Modern Warfare 3 stuff. They could just sweat right out the gate, I don't know how they're going to handle this, but for some reason, I can't, help but feel that this might become a problem in the future. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to go ahead and leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content just like this. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And last but not least, if you guys want to catch my live streams, we live stream pretty much every day besides Sundays over on Kick. You can find the link to that channel as well as all my other socials like Twitter and Discord down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.